What's going on is Anton from antondaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. My voice is like this because I was doing a lot of talking. It was a great show, great recording. Everybody popped out for the Let's Rant About It with me and my girl Randy and 2K and friends and family, and it was lit yesterday. So thank you guys for popping out. Thank you guys for showing up. It is a phenomenal show. I don't know what dates we're gonna do next year. Time Dog is tired. 2025 for me has been one of the most profitable, most fulfilling, most exciting, well-traveled years of my entire life. And it's only gonna get better from here. So for the next month and a half, I'm basically just gonna be taking the time off to just focus 100% on my brand. In a week, I'll be back in the studio, but I'm not gonna be shooting directly in the studio. We're gonna be making sure that we do our testing, get our lighting right, because we're 100% independent. And as an independent, you gotta outwork everybody else in order to be successful. Content creation is really the new record labels. It's the new music artists, right? And so a lot of times people think that you can just jump on the camera and just make a bunch of videos. No, you got to curate content, you got to produce, and this is as you grow, right? So you want to grow into your greatness, and then that's when you start touching the people, you start touring, you start meeting people face to face. I've been basically on the road for the last 3.5 years practically, and that I've been doing Patreon meetups, we've been doing shows, and then now we've evolved it to the Let's Rant About It. And then now next year, we're going to be doing a lot of fireside chats and stuff like that. So I got a lot of things planned in 2025. But I just wanted to stop and say I appreciate y'all. Shout out to all of the bag chasers. If you are not a part of the Patreon, make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. We got Block Club coming up either this afternoon, depending on how fast I can get it together, or we're going to do it directly after the show on Monday. So either way, we got Block Club coming up, so that should be absolutely awesome. But it was a phenomenal show. It was a great time. And shout out to everybody that pulled up, practically sold out. It was awesome. It was absolutely awesome. And if you don't know, ask somebody. Because anytime that an Anton do an in-person event, I know it's a lot of content creators that like to stay in their little shadows, they stay in their house, but we pull up in real life. And so we've done so many different cities, so many different interactions with people. And I just love to see my people, and I thank y'all for continuing to pull up. But a couple different things that I want to talk to y'all outside of what happened last night. Last night was a movie. Y'all gonna get all of that footage soon. But first and foremost, I want to get into this Trump conversation, and then I want to go to Travis Hunter, right? Well, first, let's talk about Trump, right? Because I did drop a video last night. You know I'm always working. Even right after I get done, come straight back to my place. Thank God I'm in Detroit, so I didn't have to go to a hotel or anything like that. But I have been getting alerts the whole time that ABC was basically in a position to settle with Trump and his team and his legal team, and basically forced to pay $16 million, $15 million to him personally, which is probably going to go to his presidential library, and over $1 million to his legal team. And it was all because of George Stephanopoulos, right? Now, my question was, does ABC value George Stephanopoulos to the tune of $16 million in a legal suit? And that's just what they had to settle for, because you also got to know that ABC also has legal fees and teams and people that is basically fighting off this stuff. And so as this lawsuit continued to move through the courts, because ABC basically wanted to get it thrown out, it started to look like, oh, wait a minute, we might be a little bit liable for this defamation suit, because they basically labeled Trump something that he wasn't, especially when it's associated with the Eugene Carroll case, right? But anyways, long story short, the question that you have to ask yourself is two things. Number one, what other media entities, because this to me sets a precedent, right? It basically says, I basically, because ABC don't even just have to pay the money in a settlement, they got to apologize. They got to basically write out apologies to place it on the original content, and then make sure that they give Trump the credit that he deserves as far as saying that, oh no, he wasn't what we thought he was. And I largely believe, again, that they was hinging their bets. And it's a lot of people, a lot of those with resources, the federal government, the current administration, they're hinging their success, or they hinged in past tense, their success on Kamala Harris or Biden or somebody basically beating Trump in an election, which in my opinion, my personal opinion, I believe that's where all of the election interference came from, as far as people trying to remove him from the ballot and them trying to throw all these charges on him and all of this stuff. And people are so easily brainwashed that they were then running around saying stuff like, well, he's a felon. Do you understand how these charges came about? Well, it doesn't even matter at this point, because those that know, and those that's informed are the ones that voted. And we decided that we wanted Trump as our president, which obviously he's doing some great things. And he's ensuring as he making America great again, right? But again, this for me begs the question, how important is the person that's on your team? And then B, in this case, George Stephanopoulos. And then B, whether or not he's going to go for other networks, which would then be the nail in the coffin for some of these other networks. But we'll see what's happening. The other thing that I wanted to talk to y'all about is Travis Hunter, right? Because I'm very, very, very much confused. Now, it's a lot of people, all in the comments, creators, Cameron, Umar Johnson, and we all come from different spaces as far as the type of space that we have content in. Obviously, Cam is in the sports and music world and popular culture, and Umar Johnson is in the blackety-black space and all of that stuff, and lots of other people are having their opinion on this situation. But Travis Hunter, and I went into his stuff and I looked at it and I looked at his channel and stuff like that. And I know that he's recently won the Heisman and won all of the different trophies and stuff like that. So shout out to Colorado, you over there doing your thing, Coach Prime. But he seems like an incredibly intelligent young man. And when I say incredibly intelligent, most people can't speak. Most of these athletes is dumb as hell. Like, they're great at their craft, but they're impossible when it comes to being likable or communicating effectively. He is very intelligent. I mean, you have to give him a lot of credit. Obviously, he's great at what he does from a football player perspective, but he's incredibly intelligent, which I believe is going to carry him very far. I think he's going to have a phenomenal career. I think that he's also going to have a career outside of a career after football is done, because I think that that's what people always have to focus on. You focus on the now while at the same time planning for the future. And he seems incredibly smart. And I hope he got a prenup. Because the one thing that I cannot stand, and I know it's a lot of people trying to say, oh man, she this, she that. Forget all of that. If she that, she gonna still be that after you got a prenup. But more importantly, I don't know why he does not see and pay attention to all of the red flags and the things that people are saying before him. It's a reason why all of these people are saying, hey man, you gotta be careful, hey man, you gotta get a prenup. And it doesn't mean that she's not a great girl. That's not what we're saying. I can't speak on who she is, because all I can go by is the interactions that I've seen publicly. But more importantly, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't protect yourself regardless of how great the person is. Because if they didn't build it with you, meaning that you wasn't shooting in the gym with me, meaning, and again, this is a lesson for regular people, because he's going to run into a lot, even way more money. And I seen this video and they said, what is it, the one thing that you would do over? And he said, the first date with my fiance. And I was like, damn, this dude is simping. And it's just two things that I really take from this. No matter how smart you are, no matter how great you are, all of us, almost all of us, most of us at some point, our weakness is women. It's the weaker of us as far as physical specimen. But boy, man, did God do a number on us, making sure that he paired us and made us weak for the opposite sex. Boy, oh boy. But number two, always look at things from a business first perspective when you start to get smitten with the people that's standing next to you. Always look at it from a business first perspective. I don't have to beat a dead horse. You know what it is. We all know what he should be doing as far as making sure that he protect himself. I'm not saying that he need to lead the little girl alone, but what I'm saying is he have to be careful and protect himself, and hopefully there's people around him to protect him from himself. But that's all I got to say about that. Listen, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Absolutely, positively, again, appreciate everybody for pulling up. It's going to be a phenomenal year next year. It's going to be one of the most incredible years of all time. Every year we've done better than the year before in every metric. possible. So listen, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the holiday season. Get some rest. I'm going to get some rest. We not going to miss. We're going to still do what we do. So it don't matter whether we in the studio or not. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. It is a phenomenal networking opportunity, an opportunity for you to learn as much as you possibly can to run up that bag. And then support Teach Hanley, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Looking forward to next year. Peace.